First thing I want to say, and this might offend you a little bit, but if you are not willing to pick up a camera and boldly put yourself out there, whether you're just playing guitar or you're running out in the streets having a good old time and making fun of yourself and being silly and doing whatever you want to draw attention to yourself, you could not handle being a musician back in the day or even now. You don't have what it takes. Hey, what up guys and gals? Jesse here from Long Lost Robots. Today I wanted to talk really quickly about a little something that I'm seeing on the Instagrams and on social media, as I'm sure you have seen too if you're a musician or an artist. And that is having to use content or make content for social media platforms to promote your art as a musician or whatever it might be, whether you're a sculptor, a painter, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So, as a musician, for me, I am 45 years old. I was born in 1979, and I did not really start making music until around 1997. And in the early 2000s, I was a lead singer of a few bands and making my way on stages, as I had played a lot of acoustic shows. Now I'm in a full-on band. I'm the lead singer and a lead singer bass player of multiple bands, and having to promote ourselves was very difficult. Today, what I am seeing online is a lot of people complaining about having to make content for social media. So let me go over why this is kind of frustrating me now. First off, I want to say I completely understand where you are coming from as a musician or an artist, that you have to make and film content like I am doing now to promote yourself as an artist. But what I want to do is talk about how you are completely wrong if that is the way you feel. Having just explained, in the 2000s, it was not easy to get yourself known at all, let alone it's around the block, around the city, around the county, around the state, around every state in the United States or wherever you're from, whether the UK or whatnot. So I have a couple of videos on this. I want to show you the first one that got me really to make this video, because I wasn't going to make this video until I saw this, and I go, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about this for a second. So here's a really cool video of some people, and I just want to go over it. Let's sync it up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Mr. Wakeman, is it true that people really used to make a living in music?
It's true. There was a time where you would go play a gig and they would actually give you money for it.
Whoa. They didn't just give you drink tickets?
No, they would give you drink tickets and money.
Whoa.
Now, first off, I want to let you know that I have received plenty of drink tickets as payment for playing shows, small shows, and it was when I was very young. Just to be completely honest with you guys, I never made a lot of money playing shows live. I made a lot of mistakes in my youth, and we worked very hard to get on stage, but I didn't make a lot of money being on stage. That's the first thing. Let's get back to the video.
You could actually make money playing music and like pay your rent and not have another job.
Whoa.
It's true. I lived it.
Wait, so you didn't also have to be a barista and a part-time accountant to make rent?
Nope. Now you got to have a marketing degree, right? Because you got to create what they.
Okay, so we're going to get into the part of the content that they're talking about. Now, first off, I also want to say that I went into these guys' page, and these guys actually do make really good content. So they're making fun of it, but they're definitely embracing it to get themselves out there. They have around 50,000 followers. That's not bad. These are the doohickeys, okay, and they're checkmarked and all that good stuff. But let's go ahead and continue with this and see what else they're talking about.
Called content.
That's what this is.
Is that what this is?
This is
Oh
content,
wow!
yeah.
Because I hear the kids talking about content. I didn't really know what it was. Content is what I have in my cabinets, like beans and canned pineapples.
Did they have TikTok when you were younger?
We had tic-tac-toe.
Wait, so how did you make it big in music without social media?
Yeah, so these records here, they used to get played on the radio.
What's the radio?
It's like Spotify, but old.
Oh.
And when they played your song, you got money.
Whoa.
And so if your song got played a lot, you made a lot of money.
Like how much? Like $100?
No, you could make like $1 million for a hit song if you wrote a hit
Whoa. That could pay 2 months of rent now.
song. In LA, right.
Do they still have radio today?
You know, I don't even know.
All right, so I want to comment immediately on how you could pay your rent and not live off of being a musician. The stereotype of making money as a low budget musician is completely off. There is no proof out there that musicians in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, that musicians were making a huge living off of their music. Now let me tell you what the reality was. The reality was every musician, one band or two bands, would be in an apartment, a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, living together. We're talking grown ass adults, sleeping on couches, eating peanut butter, peanut butter sandwiches, canned beans, or whatever it might be, because those were the sacrifices that you had to make as a musician to make it. If you wanted to go to LA and move from wherever you are, Timbuktu, Idaho, or whatever, and you wanted to make it as a musician, you were going to Nashville, which wasn't very popular into the 2000s. Correct me if I'm wrong below. But you had to work extremely hard and make sacrifices that most people were not willing to make. Myself and all my buddies, when we were young musicians in our 20s, at that point, a lot of us were working hard in construction and making great money. And none of us were going to give up the cars that we had. None of us were going to go sleeping on couches in LA, eating peanut butter sandwiches to go play shows and to really make it. We weren't willing to make that sacrifice. Now, I want to get to another video that I'm going to talk about in a second here. I want to get to another video. And the reality, and talk about radio as well. The reality is getting on radio was not as easy as this guy made it to sound, okay, makes it sound. Back in the day, you had to get a record deal. You had to sign away your songs and the rights to your songs to these record labels. And these record labels, as we all know, we all know this as musicians, as experienced musicians, that these were very bad deals. So I've looked up at top 10 bands that have gone broke, okay? Now, the first one that comes up, which a lot of people know, is TLC. Now, these weren't accusations of living lavish lifestyles, mansions, and cars. These guys sold millions of records. I believe it was 11 million records on one of their albums, and they just went broke. They just went completely broke, guys. Here it is right here. Yes, TLC Group filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 1995 despite selling 11 million copies of their album Crazy, Sexy, Cool. And it's a sad story. It is an absolute travesty what happened to these ladies touring, sacrificing, and the record label gobbled up all of their money. Now, getting back to the social media part. First thing I want to say, and this might offend you a little bit, but if you are not willing to pick up a camera and boldly put yourself out there, whether you're just playing guitar or you're running out in the streets having a good old time and making fun of yourself and being silly and doing whatever you want to draw attention to yourself, you could not handle being a musician back in the day or even now. You don't have what it takes. You do not have what it takes if you're not willing to pick up your phone now and create simple content of just you playing. You don't have to act like a fool. That is your choice. Here's another choice as a musician or even a sculptor or a miniature painter, or I don't care if you're crocheting. I don't care what you are doing. Today you have the ability to draw hundreds of thousands, if not millions of eyes on your art today using content, being a content creator and making money off of it. In no point in history up about 15 to 20 years ago, I would say 15 even, did you even have the ability as somebody who is sculpting in their bedroom to get more than one eye on you, and that's either your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad. You had no ability to share your art with anybody. And as a musician, that goes for the same thing. As a musician, at least we had the ability to play shows. At least you could pick up your guitar and go play acoustic shows. Get on stage if you had the guts to do the hard work and practice and get out there and meet people and pick up the newspapers and call people and get on stage. And for me, I've been on the air once in my life. My music has hit the airwaves one time, and that is when we went on this, my buddy at the time who was kind of managing me, got my song on 91X air, and it was a Sunday show that they did, and they featured local bands. And I was a local artist. I was a single artist. I was recording back in the day, and the song that I played on air was recorded on a Tascam 4-track cassette player. It was a pretty darn cool song. That was the only time I got on the air. Now you have the air. It's right here. I was looking at another article, and of course a lot of these articles talk about people who went broke by overspending. But a lot of these bands, there's a great documentary on Netflix right now talking about, what was it, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and all the kerfuffle that went around that. Now, a lot of those guys end up being successful, but a lot of them lost millions of dollars. And it's a great documentary. You should go watch it. So what am I getting at with the content? My friends, there is another way that people used to get famous. And we're going to look at a little clip right now going around. And there's a lot of accusations. First off, we can talk about if you're an actor or an actress, what you have to do or had to do to make it in the movie industry, like a certain Harvey Weinstein, who has been convicted and sent to prison for his couch allegations of the casting couch allegations, right? And now you don't have to do that. Here's another one. Let's check it out. We're going to sync it in 3, 2, 1.
Today, as much as I'm proving it, you proving it. You proving it. Yeah, that wasn't the thing. It wasn't, people say that. He lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened. Like, no, not they offered him $50 million and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
So let's talk about the Diddy situation. Now, allegedly, P. Diddy has been arrested, or he has been arrested, and he has allegations against him. He is due his time in court, and he is innocent until proven guilty. I want to get that straight right now. But let's talk about the Weinstein effect. Now, you can either pick up your phone. If you think picking up your phone and making some content is a lot harder than having to put up with a P. Diddy party, going to a Diddy party, and doing the things that a lot of people have done to get these record contracts, to become movie stars, to get to the top, and have anybody look at your art. If you think that making content today is some type of suffering as an artist, the suffering artist, my friends, you are way lost and you wouldn't make it in the industry, period. Now, you could go, if you want to go, now if you think that going to a Diddy party is way better, and that's the avenue that you want to go down to, I'm telling you right now, I feel sorry for you. I don't know what to tell you. You must be hopelessly lost, because now you can pick up your phone, you can pick up a tablet, you can film yourself, and you can sculpt and make awesome content of you actually doing your art and sharing it with people out there, putting it out there for people to enjoy. And you can sell prints of your art. You can sell. Tom McDonald is a perfect example of an artist, of a musician who is making it on his own. He employs his mom, his dad, his brothers, his sisters, his wife, all his friends, the Hangover Gang, to produce his music, to sell shirts. They press shirts in his home. They sign and send out signed CDs and albums from his home. And they keep the production all there. And he is on the top Billboard charts in the #1 slots, meeting the President of the United States, or i.e. the soon-to-be President of the United States, to keep his career going. He has his own career. He holds the key to his success. And they make great content. They know how to use content and make silly content or serious content and pump out music and have millions of people enjoy their music as somebody who came from nowhere. The Tom McDonald effect, you can call it. Go look him up if you need a perfect example of what it means to create content on your own and create your own business. Something you would have never done in the 70s on your own, never done in the 80s, the 90s. You know, and you better be a Kurt Cobain if you think you're going to sit there and be quiet and on stage or on an interview. You better be reinventing music, period, if you think that attitude is going to work in any time in history of music. If not, you had to be charismatic on stage during interviews or changing the industry, because charisma has always been a part of art and music making, especially music making. Because like I said, if you were a painter and you're doing oil paintings, there's no one but 5 people looking at you if this was 15 years ago. 5 people. That includes you, the painter. So anyways, guys, let's have some fun. Like I said, I'm 45 years old. If you don't want to share your art, you don't have to. That's the beauty of art. You can keep all that art for yourself. Now, at 45 years old, I'm starting my YouTube channel up so I can maybe start a business. That's what I'm here for. That's what I spent money on, this new camera and lights and tripods, to share my music, share my story, and get out and inspire people and get out there and use social media for that. Now, YouTube is a form of social media, although it's a search engine and the way for people to consume really just their own TV show, create their own TV show or their own art. So this is the way people are consuming, let's say, art today or TV shows, because TV is dead. Cable is dead. Streaming services are almost dead. And YouTube is here to stay. Rumble's here to stay. And the new media is here, and that's you, me, and we have the ability to get out of our comfort zones, put up or shut up, and get making content like this, if you want to call it content. But to me, this is a show, and we're having a good time, and I am so happy to be here. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video, share the video. This is the only way a small channel like mine can grow, grow, and grow. I hope you are making some beautiful music. Take care.